Hello! Hi, I'm Jennica. Today we're going to be filming a kind of follow-up part 2 of the pregnancy story time that I did. A couple of disclaimers first. Obviously, we had no idea that that video would just blow up like it did, which we're so amazed and thankful and grateful for. But I did just want to clarify that that video was just a lighthearted story time of me telling my daughter how I found out I was pregnant. It was not supposed to be like serious. I mean, obviously teen pregnancy is not anything to joke about, but that story just really was meant to be a lighthearted, fun moment that we wanted to be able to look back on and share with you guys. With that said, I definitely think that I was given a platform to help share my story and help people that are in similar situations that I was in, or help family members of those that are in similar situations, or just for those that are curious. So I think what I'm gonna do is, and you guys definitely let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts or suggestions of how I should kind of outlay this, but today I'm just gonna be doing a Q&A kind of follow-up. I talk with my hands also. So today I'm just gonna be kind of doing a Q&A follow-up from the main questions that I got from that first video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, pause. Go back, watch my story time of me telling my daughter how I found out I was pregnant at 14 with her. This will just be kind of like the follow-up of the most questions that I got based on that video. And then I think that like I'll do, maybe make like a series out of this and do like one video on how it was in high school with a baby, maybe a video of how it was in college, and then maybe like post-grad to life now, how it is with the child. And then a series, I'm hoping that I can get my mom and dad to sit down and do a Q&A with me, and then just different things of like how I deal with being a single mom, all of that. This video, like I said, is just going to be basically touching base on those questions that were asked the most in the first video. So still, if I don't go into detail about something that you have a question about, hold off. We're gonna make this a series. This has been 14 years of my life. I can't, you know, shrink it down into 30 minutes. Just bear with me. But if you want to hear me answer some of your questions, then just keep watching. Annica. Hey Siri, call AJ.
Calling AJ.
Dude, come here.
What?
Dude, come here. Dude, come here. Listen, I know this is gonna sound really like of me, but I've been trying to get this angle right, and then I think I got it right, and then I sit down and it's messed up. So can you like action? Okay, thanks, girl. Okay, so speaking of, I'm actually not filming this video with Annica just because I just wanted to be really super real and raw, and I thought it would be best if there was no comedy in this. Like obviously like I'm funny, so there's gonna be some moments, but I did want this to be a little bit more serious than the last video. I have not read any of the questions that were submitted on my Instagram because I really wanted to be like raw with them as well. And a couple things before we get started. Disclaimer, I absolutely understand that there have been studies that have shown that castor oil is not healthy for pregnant moms. I think that it can cause the baby to actually have fecal matter and harm the baby. I don't know. I can tell you that I was told by somebody in the medical field that it was fine for me. That was also 14 years ago, so please don't ever do anything just because you hear it on a YouTube video. Take that with a grain of salt. It was just a part of my story. Do not do anything to yourself without doing your own research. Second, I obviously know that what I was having was not a menstrual period as I was bleeding throughout my 9 months. My doctor said that it was just normal. I was young, healthy, very active. Also, my body wasn't convinced that I was pregnant, obviously, so my body was just producing a bloody discharge. I'll spare you the details, but I've always had a super light period. They're not super consistent. Like I don't start on the 15th of every month or anything like that. I do have a period every month, but it's very light, very inconsistent, only a few days, so I genuinely did not notice anything different. And like I said, I wasn't looking for a missed period or anything. I say I had a period because that's kind of what it was to me. I definitely, it's not a menstrual cycle. You cannot bleed when you are pregnant, but my body was still producing a bloody discharge, which was fine for me. Again, every single pregnancy is different. And if you are experiencing that, definitely talk to your doctor and figure out what's going on for you. I talk with my hands, I'm sorry. Third, I know that most of these comments were done with like very, very lighthearted. Also, obviously, like, we're funny. We don't get our feelings hurt. Like, it's fine. All these comments that were like, her at 13, pregnant, me at 13, watching Hannah Montana. You don't think I wasn't watching Hannah Montana too? I was still playing on the monkey bars too. My last birthday before I had Annica was SpongeBob themed. Okay, let that sink in. I was still doing kid stuff. Those are just some disclaimers that I wanted to for sure address before I went into the video. I got so many questions. So we're going to try to answer as many of these kind of rapid fire as I can. Like I said, I am going to be going into maybe a series of answering these a little bit more deep and then detailed, kind of group them off like that. First question, did you lose any friends? I don't think that I really lost any close friends. I definitely know that there were friends that had to stop kind of hanging out with me due to their parents just not wanting them to be around me, which, you know, those girls were still super nice to me at school. And two of my best friends actually, with their moms, threw me a baby shower for only my friends. So cute and so sweet. And it just, like, as I become a parent of a child that age, I mean, I truly can't imagine, and you really can't say what you would do in a situation unless you were put in it. So for me, I've not even been put in the situation of one of my daughter's friends being pregnant, which hopefully I won't, girls. Y'all learn from me. I just admire those moms so much for not only being so supportive of me, but educating their own daughters, and hopefully using me as this is, you know, what happens, and let's be there for Jennica and support her, but let's also learn from her. Another question, were all your friends having sex at your age? No, I don't think any of them were. And I was so, I didn't even tell my best friend that I was having sex. So, like, even when the rumors started about me, my best friends were like, there's no way she is. Like, she would have told us if she was, or if she was even having sex. So nobody even knew that I was. And definitely none of my friends were having sex. If you could tell your 13-year-old self something, what would it be? Maybe I should do that one later, because, like, I don't want to get, like, emotional, but I can feel
Like the throat, listen it.
I just genuinely would tell her, like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You do not see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're 13 anyway. Anything small happens to you when you're 13, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, you know, imagine when something big does happen to somebody when they're that age. Just would tell little sweet baby Jennica that it is going to be okay. What are your rules for Annica and... Oh, I should be telling who said these. Or maybe people don't want their names. Should I be telling? Let me know in the comments for the next Q&A that I do. Should I be telling the people's usernames that are asking the questions? Like, do people want their, like, names? I'm not going to this time, just for privacy. What are your rules for Annica and dating? P.S. I love you guys. Love you too. You know, Annica really, bless her soul, she loves, like, love and, like, teenage Sarah Cameron and John B. has googly eyes for just love. You gotta understand that if your kid wants to do something, then they're gonna find a way to do it. So if she wants to have a boyfriend, she's gonna have a boyfriend whether I want her to or not. So I might as well, you know, have an open and honest relationship and conversation with her about things. So definitely, obviously, she's had the birds and the bees talk. We've had that. She definitely is very well educated. She tells me all the time, and it was kind of shocking to me to hear this sentence come from her because I'd never even thought of it like this, but she's like, Mom, not only do I see all of the effects of teen pregnancy, but I see how it affects the two parents involved. I see how it affects all the family, and I see how it affects the kid. So that's not anything I want to be a part of. And so I'm like, wonderful. Thank you. That gives me some peace. I don't know what my rules are with her. I'm just kind of playing it by ear, and I want her to, you know, I don't think that there's a cookie cutter way of doing it. Just as she grows and as she goes through high school and those things happen, then we'll make educated decisions together. But I'm gonna be pretty strict. I'm gonna be pretty strict. What was high school like being a mother? My high school experience in one word summed up was shitty. It was absolutely horrendous. I have stories for days about my high school experience, but like I said, that will be a whole nother vlog. Yeah, high school was fucking terrible. This is a good one. Who was the first person that you told? Well, when we got back from the hospital, my mom called her mom, with my gran, the one that had the shirt off. And then my first phone call obviously was to my dad. Hey, here comes the queen. You need something?
Yeah.
What?
No.
No.
You can go back. Come on.
She comes in here and just takes my dog.
Your dog? It's your dog when you're snuggling. It's my dog when it's any responsibility.
Luna is the true star of this channel. So obviously I called my dad. Outside of my family though, the first person I told was actually my math teacher. Our middle school math teacher was kind of known as the like strict, hard ass teacher. He didn't really like a lot of kids. For some reason he always really did. He picked on me, but I think he knew I could handle it, and I think he just liked me always. And again, I was just a really good student, and I liked school. I went in the next morning after finding out. It was so fresh. You know, I obviously couldn't think about anything else. I went in to make up a test that I had missed, and I started trying to take the test, and I just took it up to him empty, and I said, can I please take this another day? He was like, nope, no, it's got, and I said, well, can I talk to you in the hall for a second? He walked out in the hall, and I looked at him, and I was like, I'm gonna have a baby. And he was like, don't worry about this test. So he, you know, gave me a big hug, and he's just great. He is, to this day, one of my favorite teachers I've ever had. Oh, this is a good one. How do you manage switching between best friend and mom? This is something that I struggle with. It's so hard because Annica and I do have such a good, close relationship, and I do enjoy so many of the same things that she enjoys. I mean, we watch the same shows, we watch the same TikToks. I mean, like it's really hard, but I mean, obviously mother is always going to come first, and so there will be times where I'll kind of see her pushing a little bit too hard, or me giving a little bit too much, because I know, and I will be open, and I'm like, hey, I gotta be the mom here. She's definitely, I mean, her grades and her behavior and her as a person shows that. I'm not just spitting out, you know, whatever I want to say here. I think I've done a really good job, and I've got a really good little prototype to show that. I don't know if that's the right word. Anyway, I think that as long as you're kind of like aware, and when I feel those times coming, I try to pump the brakes and reel it back in and be like, no, let's chill here. There's so many questions about Annica's dad. This is my story that I'm telling. I'm obviously a single mom. Okay, that's it. I've said that he still sees her. I'm not gonna say really anything. I don't feel that it's my place. We'll just leave it with that. The only one I will say is, did you and Annica's dad break up right away? If so, because of her, were you just young? We broke up around her first birthday. It was just because we were young. I mean, if you can just really quick jump back to when you were in 8th grade and who you were dating and see if you would be together with them now, the answer is probably no. So that's what I'll say. Just know that that's that on that. How did you juggle school, extracurriculars, and raising a baby? I admire you. Thank you so much. My family, the support of my family, absolutely. And I saw a lot of comments that were just like, so her mom wasn't mad, or I love how her mom was so chill, or I love how my parents were furious, obviously. Like, it was a very hard pregnancy because it was hard for anybody to feel any sort of joy without feeling guilt immediately. Even for me, I never felt like I could feel too happy about my pregnancy, because then I would feel immediate guilt and shame. My mom definitely was upset, but I'm telling you guys, my mom is the strictest mom. It instantly becomes not about you anymore, and it becomes about getting a healthy baby into the world. My dad, when I talked to him, this was like a few days after, not the initial phone call, but he said, you know, Jennica, I know that we're all going through a hard time right now and we're all going to be there for each other. But I'm telling you right now, when that baby turns 2 years old, I'm kicking your ass. And with me only being really pregnant for like 2 months, we didn't have time to be mad. My mom was looking out for my mental health and the health of the baby, and she knew that I didn't need any more stress. And my mom also didn't want her child to lose out on my childhood, essentially, as well. So I was able to cheer in high school. That's the only sport that I did. And we all just pitched in and helped. My grandmother lived right down the road, was able to help, and we just made it work. I'm so thankful for that. I mean, when I cheered, Annica was on the sidelines with me in a cheerleading uniform too. Didn't make a ton of people happy in my town by doing that, but it's a memory that I will be forever thankful for. I was able to even enroll in college in dual enrollment and get a full semester of college credits while I was still in high school, but it was all due to the help of my mom, and my mom just really busting her ass and raising her 3 kids and a grandbaby by herself. She killed it. She crushed it. She is the reason that I was able to do anything remotely normal. Once I turned 15, I was able to get a job at a little local deli. That was my first job. Nowhere would hire. I couldn't get a job anywhere because you have to be either 16 or 18 to get a job most places. And I was like, I need to help bring in an income for this baby. I found a lady at my church and she owned a deli, and I was like, can I please work for you? I will sweep the floor, I will clean tables, I will do whatever you need. Like, can I please just work? And I worked, and I made about $75 a week. And I would just hand my check to my mom. Anyway, that's how I was able to do that. So this says, you said AJ's birth was meant to scare your sister. Did it work? Absolutely. My sister's 25, about to be 26, and she doesn't have a kid. So thank you, Mom. That was beautiful. We're going to keep on trucking. How did you balance mom life with being in high school? I think for me, kind of a positive of being such a young mom is I was able to be so active with Annica. I mean, like, I could get on the floor with her and then get on the trampoline with her, and then I get on the swing set with her and then take her to the park, and then like I was able to do all of those things right there with her because I was just so young and active. And really, because I was in school, I really wanted the educational part of being a parent was so just fit right in with how I was at the time that I would just get books and I'd read through books, and I would read through baby books, toddler books, pregnancy books, and I just retained so much helpful information. How was your experience in college with a baby? Now, polar opposite to my experience in high school, my experience in college with Annica was actually wonderful. I think that college really showed me who I was, showed me the type of people there were in this world, that there were good people. Annica and I actually moved out right before my 18th birthday, and we moved into a 1-bedroom apartment in Florence, Alabama, about 45 minutes from my hometown. I was 18 with a 4-year-old. It was just polar opposite from high school. College was wonderful, and the people that I met really changed my life. So I can't wait to tell you guys about that. A lot of questions kind of go back to the how did you balance out time with school, cheer, and Annica. A lot of things I was able to bring Annica to. When I did competition cheer, Annica really came to all the practices, and at that time she was like 3-ish, so she'd just kind of sit on the corner and play with a pom-pom. You know, she really was able to come to a lot of things with me. Lots of like custody questions. Honestly, our schedule's too complicated. It's not a black and white schedule. She's here for the majority of the time during the school year and goes to school in our county with me, lives here, and then is with her dad the majority of the summer or like school free days. So, oh, this one's a really sweet question. Are you happy with how you've grown as a mother and also happy with how you've grown in your life? I think yeah, I really do feel like I'm finally at a point where I'm proud of myself. And I definitely don't think I ever looked at myself as like strong or courageous or like anything, because this was just the only option I thought I had. As I get older, it really does kind of hit you that this could have gone a lot of different ways. We all evolve and we all change, and I am happy with the mom I am and the person that I am. I really like this one. I think this one is probably my favorite question. What made you want to tell your story? I have always tried to use my story to help others. I actually started in high school speaking to, you know, girls' youth groups or just teen groups or any kind. In college, I kind of actually had a standing speech I would do every 6 weeks at the alternative school program for the kids there. I've always really been good at speaking and sharing. I know that I'm supposed to help people with my story, and I want to. I've always, like, it would be just a dream of mine to have a foundation or a charity that helped teen moms get car seats and diapers, and I would just love to just help as much as I can, because when that happens, you have 9 months until your life is changed forever, and you need so much support and help, and I would love to provide that, and also help people find people close to them that are going through the same thing, and help moms of the teen girls that are pregnant connect with each other. And it's really a stressful thing for everybody, so I would love to, you know, continue to grow and do that. As far as putting it on YouTube, I have really, Annica and I started our channel as just like, this is so fun. We both love YouTube, and we really both like talking and like being in front of the camera, and I personally love editing. It's so therapeutic for me. I love sitting down and just cranking out, editing a video. It really makes me so happy. Like I said, I had no idea that video would take off, and I'm so glad it did, because I now know that we can help so many people. I wanted to share my story because I know that I can help. I know that I was given this public speaking, you know, niche that I have, niche for sure, right? That I have to share. YouTube specifically, for me, I have a full-time job, and then when I get home, I immediately cook Annica dinner, make sure everything's good for her, if I need to run her errands, if I need to take her to practice, if I need to do anything, and then do we have a chance to film a video? Do I edit? Then do I try to reach out to this brand? A single income was not doing it for us anymore. As she gets older, she's obviously getting a little bit more expensive, and it's just her and I and a bunch of bills, and I needed help, and I needed to have a second income. I knew that I couldn't just go get a normal second job, because I needed to be home and raising a baby. She's not a baby. I needed to be home raising my child. Maybe if I could bring in a couple extra $200 a month with YouTube or Instagram, like, that would be perfect. That's if we can just get $200 extra a month, like, that would be wonderful. And I've still, like, not gotten a paycheck from YouTube yet. I'm in the works of getting all that figured out, and hopefully this will be something that can help us keep the lights on around here. So I love YouTube, and I love talking, and I love helping, so that's why I chose to share my story. I think that's a good one to end on, right? A lot of them were just worded different and pretty much the same question, so I hope that I touched on a little bit of kind of all of the questions from that first video. I cannot believe we are almost at 100,000 subscribers. That... What? I read every one of my comments, and I'm going to be in the comments with you guys talking, so if you have anything you want to say, definitely drop it out. I'd love to hang out with you guys in the comments down there after I post this video, so please hop on down there, and just thank you. Thank you so much. Not kidding. Obviously we get like hate, but like the amount of positivity and just good people that have shown so much love and support to us since we posted that video, it's just been so incredible to watch, especially with these insane times. It's so refreshing and good to see that there are good people out there. So thank you guys so much. We love you guys so much. We love you. Like, there have been so many people reach out to me and Annica. I know one day Annica was just like going to town with her thumbs, and I was like, who are you texting? And she was like, oh, a girl reached out, and she was just asking me some questions, and I was like, oh, okay. And they were just sending paragraphs to each other. So we love chatting with you guys. Let me know what you think I should do as far as this like series that I want to do, so we shall see. Alright, I think that sums up this video. Doesn't my hair still look so good from being black, and my eyelashes still look good? And that's so... I hate that this background is like a clothing rack. This is like vibey, and then this is like not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you. We're almost at 100K, so please subscribe. You can say that you were here before we hit 100K, okay? Love you guys. Bye!